Hi guys, welcome back to another lesson in linear equations. In today's lesson we're going to look at solving linear equations, but when we have a variable on both sides of the equation. So here's our first example, 8x minus 9 equals 5x plus 6. So what we need to do is we need to essentially get the pronumerals on one side and all of the constants on the other side. So what we do is I've made this little acronym here, well I didn't make it, I found it, of a way we can remember what to do. So we distribute first, or we expand the brackets, and there's no brackets here so we don't need to do that. The next thing we do is collect like terms, which we also don't need to do. Then we begin by adding or subtracting any constants to move them to one side. Now I like to move all of my constants over to the right if I can, but if it's going to come out as a negative I just fiddle with it a little bit. So the first thing we do is we're going to add or subtract. So we're going to add 9 to this side, which will cancel that out to make it 0, which means we add 9 to this side, and what we get is 8x equals 5x plus 15. Now what we need to do is move this pronumeral over to the other side. So to do that, we're going to subtract 5 from each side, because that 5x take away 5x equals 0. So we end up with 8x take away 5x, which gives us 3x, and 3x equals 15. And then we're going to divide them both by 3, because now we're looking in our multiplication and division section. So we're going to deal with our multiplication of 3x by dividing it both by 3. So x equals 5. Okay, so have a pause, come back, and we'll work this together, but try it on your own first. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 7 from both sides to remove this 7 here. So we end up with 3x equals negative 10, because negative 3 take away 7 gives us negative 10, take away 2x. Then we're going to add 2x to both sides to move the pronumeral over to the left, which gives us 5x equals negative 10. And then we divide both by 5, which gives us x equals negative 2. Our next one, so this is where we can go back to our little phone and follow this. So the first thing we do is distribute or expand. So 3 times 2x plus 3 times 1, which gives us 6x plus 3 equals negative 4x minus 17. Now what we're going to do is subtract 3 from both sides, which gives us 6x equals negative 4x minus 20. Then add our 4x to both sides and we end up with 10x equals negative 20. Divide both by 10 and x equals negative 2. So if you follow the don't call me after midnight rule, you'll remember what comes first. So don't is distribute, so expand. Call is collect like terms. After is add or subtract. And midnight is multiplication and division. Now in this case, it's a little bit different because we can't go straight to multiplication and division. Other way around. We can't do all these steps first. We need to go to multiplication and division first, because we can't add 3 to a fraction. It's not going to work properly. So in this case, we're going to times both sides by 5, which will remove this fraction. So the first thing we're going to do is remove that fraction in any equation, whether there's one equation with a fraction and one equation without. But we do that and we end up cancelling those fractions out, and we end up with 4x minus 3 equals 2x plus 9. Then we add 3 to both sides, so we end up with 4x equals 2x plus 12. Subtract 2 from both sides, so we end up with 2x equals 12. Then we're going to divide both by 2, which gives us x equals 6. So if you have any questions, please make sure you ask. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks, guys.